Alright, so this is my base. Just kidding. That's my buddy's base. That's Mike's base. Mike does not play very much. It's not that he's bad, he just doesn't play very much. So, um, so I play pranks on Mike. And I start on the outside of my base so that I can show y'all. So this, I set up an end crystal out here for Mike. He'd never seen one before, so he went over and punched it. I didn't work out super well for him, but at least he's got a new hole, which is nice. Um, and let's see, I set up his post office box so I can just leave little goodies in there for him. The MCPS box. And so this was the first prank that I played on him. Magic box, only diamonds and emeralds. And no matter what you throw in it, it just disappears. So what I did was I just have this little water stream that sends it out of there through a dropper, throws it into this box. And I actually did, I put some golden carrots in there so that when he found it, he'd have a treat. And then he never picked up the golden carrots. I think he just eats meat, which is fine. And then I gave him an Australian horse, which is, you know, a donkey, which he hasn't taken down yet. I was expecting him to take stuff down, and he leaves it up for like forever. So, and then one day he actually, he stole a painting from my house that covered a secret entranceway, and so I decorated his base. So yeah, so that's Mike's. For the most part, he can do more if he wants, but he doesn't really do much for that. So let's do the other thing. So I am huge into infrastructure, and I don't and have never had an elytra, or an elytra, or whatever you want to call it. Um, so I do a lot of work with rails, and I love using them as transportation, especially long lines. That way I can like set myself to go somewhere, and once I do, I can just like, you know, I can get up and sometimes I, you know, go to the bathroom or get a drink or something like that, or dip everything in cheese, and that works out really well. So this is the train that goes from Mike's house back toward my base. Um, so all my train stations are a little bit different. They're not special, um, and I'm not really good at like design or making things look super nice or anything like that. But uh, I do like to have differences and everything. So like nothing, no two things that I build are really the same. And even if I build like 1,000 of them, they're always all different. Um, so that's how that train station works, where you're on the bottom, um, and then you go upstairs to go further out west. Um, and then this is an eastern line. So this is called the eastern line, or this is the western line because it's coming from the center. Um, and then I have a southern line that's almost useless now because I have Route 4. So this is the ladder to Route 4, and don't go on Route 4 at night because creepers do spawn up here, and it is a pain in the butt to redo. Now, because I do infrastructure all the time, one of the things that I don't do is make things pretty. I build ridiculously long lines. Um, this ice highway is called Route 4, and it goes all the way up to negative 4,500, and it goes to positive 2,500, I think. So that's a 7,000 block ice highway. It's very fast, and it can get you all the way from top to bottom, you know, well within a Minecraft day, which is great, but it doesn't allow me to really make things very pretty. There's, it's efficient, and it gets me where I want to be, and that's pretty much it. So, so that's how I go north-south, and unless I'm I have specific places that I'll go in the south, and I do have train lines to them. So this line just brings me straight back to my place. I originally bought Minecraft when it first came out. It was like $20 beta, and I mean it was like that for a lot of years. But you know, you couldn't walk on redstone, and there weren't any power rails, and it was a total pain. You had to have minecart booster tracks, and it was just such a pain. So anyway, I eventually I decided I wanted to get back into it, and I re-downloaded it in, I don't know, February. So this is like a lot of years ago. I played for about a year, and it was fun. We had a server, me and some friends, and played on that for a while. But now it's mostly just me and my buddy Mike, and he plays sometimes. His kids really love it, so it's something that's good for him to be able to, you know, him and I to both be able to kind of chat with them on stuff. So this line comes into my train station, and this is kind of my pride and joy, because it just takes a lot of simple machines and kind of makes good use of them. So you can see there's 3 lines that come in. They pop your cart, send it down through this, which is not optimized at all, sends it over here, sends it up there into a reloader, and that's where all the tracks come out up there so that you can send back out. There's 7 outgoing tracks out of this place. So this is just for arrivals down here. There's a couple of details that I just didn't care to ever do anything with. As soon as I got this to be efficient on the floor plan, I haven't really touched it since. Yeah, I could make it look cool. I'm not going to make it look cool. It does what I want it to do. So on the other side of this, and I'm probably not going to, I don't even know how to really screw it up anymore, but it just says, oh, that sucks, you shouldn't have done that, sign on the other side. And it's just a fail-safe for if you screw up. So this is where departures happen. So it's just an open line to walk into departures. All lines are now active. It took me a long time to fill up those 7 lines. And we've got a center train table here. Just kind of shows you where you're going for all the different lines. We're going to go out on line 3 just for a second. It won't take too long. So the express line 5 actually brings you straight down to an underground ice highway that goes straight to Mike's backyard. That's kind of been something that I try to see how many different ways I can I can get to Mike's house. So and then down line 7, all the way at the end of the line, I have a mending villager. So you have to. It takes the better part of a little bit more than a full Minecraft day just to get to him. So you have to mean it if you want to go see the mender. You really got to want to see the mender. And he's not cured or anything like that. You got to save up. You got to go mean it. You can't just go buy a whole bunch of mending books and stock them up. I mean, now that I have a trading system, I've got plenty of emeralds, so I don't have to worry about that. But regardless, so the way that the system works is you press this button once and it sets you up with a cart. Boop. You sit in the cart, you go through the 3/4 door, and then you push the track number that corresponds, that was in the center train table over there, and then it just kind of sends you on your way. Now down here I put donut shop. This is how the donuts are made. So whenever you press one of these buttons, like let's say you wanted to take track 7. Track 7's the southern line, so it sends a signal down here, and that signal goes through this repeater, which sends a 15 signal out into these comparators, and this is just from chunk unloading once you're leaving, so these lights aren't normally on, so consider them all off. All these other lines that are off, that's how they're supposed to look, but they're not sending any signal, obviously. So you press that line, and it will slowly deteriorate through that comparator loop, and then as long as there's one signal going through that repeater, it sends out 15. So then it takes that amount of time to get through that, and that amount of time to get through that, and that entire time it is switching that track right there to go out. So So that track will be the only one that actually sends you out of the station. Um, Once the signal's completely deteriorated, that light will turn back off the way that it is right now, and the track will go back to the way that it is. So it's about a 20-second delay, so it gives you time to screw up. Um, which when I was first kind of getting used to it, it took me a second, but once Mike was doing it and he didn't have any trouble with it for the most part, I realized that I did develop something that was pretty foolproof. So I hadn't seen one of these before, and it does what I want it to do, which I really like. One of the biggest issues that I found out was that this track right here was lighting this up, so I had to run a loop off of every single one of these that comes down, and it runs through another deteriorating power line on this side, and that comes up through there, and it lights up this track or powers these rails so that you can set off. Problem is that when you're on 6, for some reason, I don't know, it's just 6, but when you hit 6, it lights up all of the tracks except for the last 2. So you get to the last 2, and then it wouldn't light up, and so I had to run a second loop that goes around, and it actually is, the delay is just perfect so that just as you're about to hit those 2 tracks, they light up, and it's perfect. So it was accidental kind of coolness. So I'm going to hit 3, and we'll watch the lights light up, and then we're just going to pop right out into the little villager trading station. So you can see right there that lights up, and still going to be plenty of time. Um, you can see it slowly deteriorate through there. So then this is my villager trading hall, kind of. I know everybody does it a little differently. Most people have them all like right next to each other and stuff, but I have had a couple of escapees, so a couple of these places are empty right now. But the way that I did it is I call it a halo system. I don't know if that's like a real thing or not, but basically what happens is this line that comes up through the floor here comes from my villager breeder, which is over there, and you just connect whichever line for house you want to go into. The fall isn't, bad enough to really damage a villager. It gives them, like a heart damage or whatever. And then you just break the minecart, and there they sit in their little prison with their bed and workstation. Then you just come back up here, and it's, it's a little bit manual, but honestly, I've seen a lot of people have a lot of trouble transporting villagers and how much of an absolute pain it is. And I'll tell you, it's not that bad. So anytime I want one, it's pretty easy to get one. So that's nice. Now, let's see, I'm going out here. We're not going to spend any time here, but I'm going to go out here just to show you the zombie spawner that I've got. It's not special. It is just gets the job done is what it does. But so because I watch so much stuff on YouTube about this, I'm a big Hermitcraft fan. I love all the hermits. They're very congenial, and they're funny. So it's almost like watching a sitcom, but you can watch it through, a dozen different people's eyes, and it's pretty neat. So I see, all the different stuff that they do and what they need. And one of the things that I end up doing is I build things for what I need and when I need it. I build a farm when I need a ton of something. Otherwise I'm just gonna mine. So tinted glass on the outside, and then just pretty standard down here. It's buttoned up on there, and the water stream and the tube. So then I've got a couple of water elevators right here. Just gonna shoot down to the bottom. 22 blocks or something. So I've got this right here, and you just kind of, murder people however you want, and then you get your. But there's no entity cramming anyway. So I watch all these videos, and they have Java, and because I'm not an expert in Minecraft, it is difficult sometimes to differentiate Bedrock and Java, and so watching watching this, you know, they have entity cramming. You can only have like 16 or something of things in one spot. And um, when I was building this, I thought, you know, what a pain in the butt to only be able to have 16 because you have to wait up there for all of them to drop. Like they don't spawn while I'm down here, and it sucks. Um, so you know you wait for 16 and then you come down and then you kill them and then that's how much you get and then you go back up and it's 16 more. And boy, it was still a grind and it was terrible. And not only that, but it felt like the spawn slowed down a little bit. And so one day I forgot that I was kind of standing there and I got a phone call or something, and then I went to the bathroom and then I like went out to you know get a beer or something like that, and I came back and I was like, oh no, I left it on, and everything was super laggy, and I realized, you know, it came down the water elevator and there's hundreds of zombies, and so they're all cool, just like they didn't cram at all, which is pretty cool. So I can just kind of AFK for a little while, um, about a half hour, and it starts to get, you know, pretty laggy, but it works out. I got this little chest here, and then I've got a little, you know, I don't know, it's not a super smelter, but you know, it's like it, it's an auto smelter, yeah. So yeah, this is just, you know, to melt down armor that I get, backup furnace, just to disenchant things if they come in and they're magic, then I can melt them down anyway. The only thing that I really need here is a very small lava pit to throw all the other stuff into, because I'm not going to do anything with it. So yeah, so that's the whole thing there. Um, all right, back to. So yeah, so I don't build anything super pretty, but I don't build huge things because I don't really need them. I haven't found, if I ever needed them, I would. You know, I'd go out of my way to build huge things if I needed huge amounts of things, or massive farms and stuff like that. But for the most part, I don't really require it, so I don't build it. I like to make the game more and more easy as I play. You know, Minecraft's a game that you can get better at, but you can also kind of equip yourself better too. So, so that's what I kind of try to do with it. So, yeah. So let's head back to the train station here. And let's see, where are we going next? Alright. So we're going to take a little run around. This is my little kelp pond. And I am trying to go toward renewable energy, so I'm working on that. It's not really under construction anymore. I guess I can get rid of that. I just kind of stopped being under construction. So I just finally really started diving into the Nether a lot, and I built a little kind of built a couple of buildings on the other side of this so you don't get exploded all the time by gas, because it is a massive gas spawn on the other side. So I didn't want Mike to just run in there and die, which he then immediately did. He just goes, I'm not going to die, and then he just died immediately. So this was the first kind of pretty bridge that I built. I really like this one. I like covered bridges. Originally I'm from Maine. We've got a bunch of covered bridges up there, and we had some where I grew up, and I really like those. So this is there. So there are basically two kind of parts to my base. There's parts that I built a long time ago that I haven't quite redone yet, and then there are parts that that I've built since I kind of decided to move up to the next level. So like, you know, the lighthouse there, and the train station, the villager trading hall. Those are all kind of next level stuff. The house is still from last level. I haven't really done anything. I tried to decorate the kitchen, so that was kind of the only thing that I actually really tried to do. And I do like the kitchen, but everything else is very barren, so I haven't really done anything. And I used to love brick. I'm not a huge brick fan anymore. I thought I was going to have a train line that pulled right into the basement, but you know, the more I play Minecraft, the less I think I'm actually going to ever be in my house. And because I'm a function over form guy, it's probably not going to happen. So, yeah, there's my bedroom that I don't use. So much of this is just effort that I thought I'd use, and then I ended up not using it. And there's just an observation post. At one point, this was the highest point, so I wanted to be able to see all the things. And, you know, since then, obviously, things have changed, and I've built more. But, you know, eventually this will get torn down, and I'll reclaim all the materials and use it for something that looks significantly better. But red bricks are real difficult for me to stomach now. So we're gonna do the greenhouse. So there's only one way into the, well, there's two ways into the greenhouse, but this is a good way into the greenhouse. So this was my first little farm, and it is excellent. I did have an issue where all my bees were getting killed on cactuses. I didn't know that that was a thing that could happen. So, so I had to wall off all the cacti. But yeah, this farm still produces quite well. You know, the bees do their thing, and all the farm stuff does its, you know, thing where it grows, and that's the whole deal. I mean, it was my first protected area farm thing. Like production based thing. I figured what's easier than, you know, if you're gonna make a farm for something, make an actual farm. Perfect. I built this a couple of days ago. I'm gonna rebuild it. It's pretty obvious that's just a phantom farm. It sucks and I hate it, and I need to completely redo it. The floor is not big enough. I can't turn around fast enough. It's just not, it's not good. It needs work. So I've just got a trapdoor to drop back down through and a water elevator to go up into, and it is terrible. And it got me the amount of phantom membranes I needed. And that's just about it. So so yeah, I don't like these light posts either, but I have no reason to do anything. This is where line 4 comes out. So train line 4 goes to the farm, and this is what it means. So then I've got this incredibly inefficient auto sugarcane farm, and like I love it because it's my first 100% auto farm. Like I don't do anything. I just walk by it, and eventually it gives me sugarcane, and that's great. But this is the amount that it's produced in, like, I don't want to say 2.5 months, maybe longer. It's only about 60% efficient. I don't know how it works on Java, but in Bedrock, when that piston pushes out, only one of the sugarcane reliably will fall into the water stream. And that definitely doesn't work very well. So once in a while, the second one will too, but it's very chancy, and it does not necessarily work all that hot. So, but you know, I'm still proud of making it. It was cool. There we go. Here's the barn. I got my chickens. I got my sheeps. I got my pigs. And I got my cows. And they're, you know, relatively easy to access. I got my feed here, got my milk, and then I've got Friendo just to murder things with. I've never actually used them. Before I had looting 2 on the sword that I have now, I built that sword, and I never ended up using it because I got looting 2 on this sword fast enough. So pretty much everything that's in here in this storage system it's not storage system really, it's just storage. It's a bunch of boxes, and pretty much all of the things that are on these boxes are farmable. Obviously not saddles, but they're still, you know, close to where they belong. They're actually going to get relocated. And I don't know if you can hear that or not, but under this it's all kind of hollow because when I did the terraforming to flatten this out, I did not do a very good job. So so there's that. Yeah, and then I've got all my horse armors, and those are just those obviously not farmable, but close enough to where they need to be. I think one of the things that I really want is a honey farm. I absolutely hate dealing with bees. I'm not good at it. I get stung all the time. Um, and the smoke thing, yeah, I tried to do that and they still got angry. So maybe it's just bees. Oh yeah, hold on. And everyone's probably like, what's going on over there? Okay, so yeah, this is entrance only. They're not auto doors up top. And then this is my refrigerator. I know, I know. My girlfriend was like, "Do you need that?" I was like, "I mean, no, but it's cool." So this is just where I keep all this. I've taken a liking to golden carrots. I think they're awesome. So I haven't really been eating a whole lot of that, but I don't want to throw the meat out either because that's a waste. So why would you do that? Um, and yeah, and then there's a hay loft too. I don't have a ton of hay up there. Uh, and then this actually goes down into the greenhouse so that I can just go from one place to another. And all the stuff that is in there is stored in here, so it made sense that I had a connector to it. So so anyway, so this is the hay loft, and I got a bed up here. It kind of makes me think of when I was living up in the Northeast. We had a camp, and there was a loft, and it was always fun to sleep in the loft when I was a kid. So I put a bed in the loft, and it has remained here ever since. And there is a dark spot over here for some reason. No matter how many lights, I can't wait for this update, for the lighting update on mob spawns, because I light stuff up, and then I still get murdered all the time from stuff, and it makes me so mad. So that's how that's going. So I'm just gonna sleep through the night so we can continue the tour. Boop. Let's see what's next. Okay. So then over here I've got a woodshed. It was funny. I originally, when I first started, I had a little itty bitty farm right here, and my base was all the way over at the lighthouse, which I can't even. Oh yeah, you can barely see it rendering in way out there. So I had a little tiny lighthouse out there, and that was my base. And I had a train line that went from down at the bottom of these steps. I don't even know. Did I? Oh my god. Ow, 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 ow. So yeah, it looks like I've reclaimed that. But I left a couple of things there, and that was my first train line, was underground, to go from the base to there. And this was supposed to be my first barn. And it never turned into it. I just never got over here. So once I started really collecting a lot of materials and stuff, I realized I need a separate place for wood. So this is the woodshed, and just all the different types of wood. And then they're separated that way. And down at the bottom I put all the whole logs, and up top are all the different things that you can make with them. And then by the door is just poop. I just put poop in there. It's just whatever. That's just how that goes. Let's see. Where else are we going? Oh yeah, the large farm. So yeah, so I have more beehives out here. So the large farm is just at the bottom of this. And this is just for, like, have you ever been like, oh yeah, I need a lot of wheat. Okay, cool. I need a lot of paper. I need to breed a lot of villagers. I need to trade with a lot of villagers, and same with the potatoes. I just need to trade with a lot of villagers. I have that villager trading hall has some trades, but like I said, I haven't cured any of them, so they still take a pretty massive amount to get the emeralds that I want. So I wanted a bulk farm down here that I could just kind of reap and get what I needed. So and then the aqueduct, obviously purely not useful, but it looks cool and I really like it. Behind that you can see the roof line kind of fading in there. This is the stable. This is one of my newer buildings. It's not really done up or anything. Uh, I haven't. I kind of got it to where it was, and then decorated it a little bit, and then I got bored, so I stopped. It's just Mike. Mike comes in and just opens things, and he like I don't know if you noticed, but all the labels in the barn, all the item frames that were all sideways, Mike just comes in and does that because he knows that I am, um, uh, oh, what do you call it? Uh, you know what it is. It's OCD. It's not really, but I like to have everything in line. Who doesn't like to have everything in line? It's nice, okay? Um, so then, let's see. I think that, yeah, this is my horse. This is my favorite guy. By the way, in Bedrock, I don't know if you know this or not, you can't ride those things through gates. It's ridiculous. This is the whole point of a gate, right? Okay. So this is Idiot, and he's a good boy. He's a good special boy. Um, and he's pretty quick. He gets me where I want to go. And this path that I have actually goes through a neighboring town and then all the way to Mike's. And I thought that was pretty cool. I liked that having that available. So thank you, Idiot. Appreciate it. So now that we are through that, we are going to head back to the main-ish area. Yeah, so I don't know if you noticed, but so far, like, the thing is work very well. Like, I have what I need. The one thing that I really, really want is I'd like to be able to make a tree farm, and I'd like to be able to make an iron farm. Those are going to be the next two, projects when I need them. So that is the original. Um, it's a storage. It's like an auto sorter that's in there. And I thought I was going to do more with it, but then I just hated how it looked so much. So I'm actually working, and that's very old. I'm working on a absolutely massive, massive time and resource intensive project for a new sorting system and workshop and everything. So, so that is, that's going to get torn down, and it served me really well for a long time. It's been kind of, odd. It has no entrance. It's entered through underground railway. So it's been there for a long time, and I'm gonna miss it when I take it down. But it's definitely outlived its welcome. Um, so then this is my villager breeder, and it appears that even though I named all of my villagers, they have despawned. Thanks, Bedrock. Super cool. So yeah, I guess I'll have to get more of them. So the way that I did that, it hasn't been all that long that I've had villagers at all. Probably like a month, a little more than a month. Um, but uh, but basically I have this dry dock here, and oh, you little poop. Um, so I have this little dry dock, and I just get in, and then I beat the boat out, and then they jump right out. So uh, I have the beds up there, so as soon as I hit the bell, they run for the beds, put the doors back on, and everything's great. So so that works out really well. It's a pain in the butt to get in and out of here, just because of I didn't measure it out when I did it. So one of the doors you can't open from the other side, like you have to remove it and put it back on. So I'm not going to do that. But you understand where I'm at. Let's see. Over here, under this is my first big furnace area. So I built these chimneys that come up from it. It doesn't. You'd never know, but I think it's cool just because I know what it's connected to. There was a creeper accident here. Sorry. Let's eat some carrots. And... Yeah, we're going into the lighthouse. So this is the lighthouse. This was the beginning of, like, phase 2. I did the lighthouse before I did the train station. Not the inside, but I did the outside of the lighthouse and most of the top, I think, before I built the train station. So, yeah, it's a headlight, so it's the head. So another thing that I don't like about Bedrock is I can't play with these guys. That sucks. So, got a couple of water elevators that go up. And then I love maps. Like, absolutely love maps. And without having an Elytra, like, I hope you understand the amount of work that goes into a map. Like, you actually feel kind of proud of the map once you get one cleared up. So this is us right here. And this is the base, so you can see there's the train station, villager breeder. That's a remnant of the old part of the base. Greenhouse, the old house, barn, the the woodshed, and then I just planted some trees here. That's the big farm, the aqueduct, stable, and then there's the trail that goes all the way to Mike's base, which is somewhere here, I think. Might be even further. Might be like here. It's somewhere over there. And then this is a map of one of those woodland mansions. So I bought it and I didn't know what it was, and I ran and ran and ran to go get it. It was like, I think it was like 15,000 blocks away, and I had no idea. Like, I didn't know how it worked at all. So I got there, and I was completely unprepared for everything in it. Didn't die. I was pretty excited about that. Didn't sleep before. Like, I slept, like, in the wilderness, but then I had picked my bed up, so if I had died, I was going to go all the way back to spawn, and, like, it was just such a mess. I'm 100% sure I didn't get everything in there, so I always kept the map and I put it on the wall. But I bought this from a villager, so I posted it there because it reminds me of it. And this is my close-up map. So yeah, same idea. Obviously, you need secret entrances; they're important. So this is my floor entrance. The way you're supposed to get in is by rail, so that's why it's secret. It's a secret entrance. It's not necessarily like how you're supposed to do it. So originally this room was under my little tiny lighthouse, and I mean it was probably like 30 blocks high, something like that. It was a little guy, and this room was probably about 10 by 8. So obviously once I started, really expanding, I had to really expand. I had to do a lot of work. So most of the stuff's organized pretty well. I've got a couple of boxes that have many things in them, many different things, and this is just my missile deco box. But for the most part, it's pretty decent. So I just got an ender chest, I think last week. Like I just beat the dragon and did that last week. Like I'd never done it before. So I keep one of those in there. Adventuring supplies, stuff that isn't going to go into this. And then this is one of the last remaining. There's a couple of things in here that are just like last remaining remnants. This is my trash chute. It just goes down. And because if I ever threw something out by mistake, I didn't want to be throwing it into lava. So I'm like, well, I gotta have a chance. So I built a trash chute instead of just like a lava pit or something, and so that in case I threw something that I didn't mean to, I could go get it. I wouldn't want to, but I can technically go get it, and it ends in some cavern down below that I've never actually even looked at. Believe it or not, it's not lit at the bottom at all. So yeah. And if everything that I'd ever thrown in there had never despawned, then this game would never stop lagging, so thank you for that. This was my very first redstone thing. that I did, and I think it's just like I think it's called like a dual jeb door. I don't know, but yeah, everything is there that has been there since since it was. I mean, it was the first thing that I built that was cool, and I really liked it. Uh, and then this was the painting that Mike stole. So it's the reason that now he has more paintings than he knows what to do with. So, um, so then anyway, behind this is where this is where the fun starts. So, uh, a lot of blackstone, basalt up top. This is where the rail line comes in from the station. This is rail line 6. Um, some of the walls are a little bit hollow, so sometimes you get a couple of voices talking to you from the walls, but outside of that, perfectly fine. Um, so we'll do, let's see. Oh, and this is the trash hole observation. So that's where the trash comes down. It's a recurring theme. You'll see it again too. Um, so originally, this one room held everything. So I had enchanting table. I had like 9 furnaces. I had all my crafting tables lined up, and then I had my storage here. Um, and since then, I've just been kind of, once in a while, I'll just add something. And in this case, like I just started doing brewing. Just started doing brewing last week. Um, so I needed water, obviously. So now I have my infinity pool, I guess, or whatever you call it. By the way, I didn't realize that gilded blackstone was something that like it was tough to get. I kind of stumbled onto it, and I was really happy that I had a silk touch when I did because like I see other people talk about gilded blackstone and how like they don't have very much, or it's kind of a cool thing to be able to work with. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Well, I have a whole bunch of it, so I guess I'll work with it. And it's like the worst use of it ever. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it looks terrible, but it's here, and I still want it on display. Um, so then this is my first furnace room. And like I said, I'm trying to go all renewable. So these are always cooking kelp. Literally, like always cooking kelp. So this entire room runs on kelp, um, and it's my first 100% renewable energy thing. I thought that was neato. Those are up above. Those are all the chimneys that go up and smoke up above. And obviously they don't really smoke, but you get the idea. It's still cool. Um, and I mean the design isn't that great, but it is. It's I'm just kind of making steps. I'm getting better and better. Eventually things will start feeling different for me. But and then I built an actual smelter, um, and I really like deep slate a lot. But I did not realize, like I just found this out, that there is because I always mine with silk touch, always. So I didn't even know there was such a thing as cobble deep slate. Now that I do, I'm like, okay, well, I guess I gotta go do some of that then. Um, Originally, this room stopped right here, and there was a point where you could not get out of the basement if somebody closed that automatic bookcase door behind you. So this was the emergency exit, and I've kept it ever since. It's still an emergency exit. Break in case of emergency is fine. Um, but yeah, so some of the stuff I just keep because it's sentimental. I don't keep it because it actually works or anything like that. It's dumb. So then I got my nether wart farm. I just kind of built this the other day. Um, and you know what I didn't realize was that smoke comes up through glass. I had no idea. So yeah, it's very smoky in there. I mean, I like it, but it's very smoky in there. Um, this is the study, so it just has everything that I need, which is that. That's it. That's all I need to be able to get that done. So this is a pit that has been here since day 1 of me in here. And that looks to be a creeper. Oh, well, we get all kinds here. So let's see. Oh, and now I guess I'm going to show you down where that goes down. Um, so like I said, I've always loved the maps. That's my big thing. So it originally I had a map on the floor here. Um, it was like I think I had 9 incomplete, fully expanded maps. And then once I started getting bigger than that, I was like, okay, well, I'll put them on a wall. So I kind of changed some stuff up and I put some on a wall. And then I was like, oh, no, this wall isn't big enough. And um, so I need to build a map room. So now the map room, in case this is an elevator to the Delorme Gazetteer room, but I I built it and then I got in and it just immediately killed me. So I found out that you gotta sit in a cart. If you don't sit in a cart, then you just die. So I made sure to put that on there. Um, and if you ever break the elevator, which I have not broken the elevator, but I have had Mike purposefully leave me downstairs by taking the elevator up without me. There is emergency ladder access, and I did think of that before that, so I'm doing okay. I'm thinking all right. So what you do is you break the glass and you look in the chest, and in the chest there's a lever, and you just place the lever and go in, and you go down, and then there's a lever up over on the inside of the door on that side, so that you can open the bottom door. Um, so yeah, so let's go check out the map room. And it's still not special. It's just cool for me. I love it. So I like being able to come down and look at the map. And also, it helps me decide where I want to go, where I want to go next. So the only issue with the map room is that I didn't realize I was on a slime chunk. Also is the truth with my big project. Um, so anyway, so this is the map. Um, Now, the cool thing about the map, I really need to have a spyglass so I can show this off better, but so I don't have an elytra. So I did all this walking, and so there are a few things that I like to do in Minecraft, and one of them is called exploring, and one of them is called venturing. So exploring, I'll go and I'll start just uh, you know uncovering a new map. It's fun. It's fun. I like doing it. And then adventuring is what I call mining for the most part. So I'll just pick a spot on one of these maps and I'll just go out there because a lot of it's undiscovered. Really, it's just uncovered. Um, and I'll find a cave and I'll go down, and that's it. So I actually just found a cool one by mistake all the way up there in the north. And I posted it so that I can see it when I get back there. But I just randomly came across a Minecraft or a mine shaft, but I didn't really want to do it yet, so I just marked it and headed back out. So anyway, all of these in the line here. So that dot, that dot, that dot, boop, 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 all the way down. And there's actually another station right about there, but I'm waiting until the new update. I'm waiting until 18 to make that new map and to start discovering it. So that's Route 4. That's the ice highway, and it goes all the way. So so that's definitely a big thing to be able to pull that off. And then this is us right here. We're right here on the center block. And then this is Mike's. And oh Jesus, and the walls. Oh. So but you can see like these are all the train lines. So this is the eastern line that goes east. This is the western line. It goes west. This is the southern line. This is Route 4, but this is the southern line, and it actually has one station here that goes out to here. And then the southern line actually also goes out here and goes there. That's where the mender is, all the way down there. Um, Off of Route 4, here, right there. Um, that stop on Route 4 has a train line that comes off and it goes out to here and up to this point there. And this Route 4 has a train line that comes out and goes out to here. So basically, what happens is whenever I'm exploring a new map, uh, I'll build a train line out to it so that I can get there and back easy. Whenever my inventory fills up, I'll just be able to, pop right back. And it's only been since last week that I've had any access to shulker boxes. So that's obviously kind of, that completely changes the game to have, ender chests and shulker boxes. But But yeah, most of the time it would just be like, okay, when am I not willing to throw stuff out anymore? Is it now? Okay, I'll go back. I normally do a couple of loops. I do loops around and then get the middle at the end. Same thing down here. But I have access to every single biome. I have access to uh, strongholds. I have access to uh, ocean monuments, uh, which is that guy right there. And then I've got access to a stronghold with that guy right there. I think it's that guy. It might be that one. Anyway, somewhere over there. Um, I've got spawners. There's a spider spawner right over here in case I want it. I don't, but this dude. Um, and this is my sand pit. It's up there, and that's us. So it's having easy access to pretty much everything is really nice, and it does change the game quite a bit. So, like, I don't know. I think exploring is the best part of the whole game. Uh, so yeah, I hate the fact that I don't have banners. Can't you tell? I have to remember all this stuff, and that is real hard. It's hard. So let's see. Okay, so we're gonna go check out the auto storage real quick, and then I might show off the big project a little bit. Not all the way, but a little bit. I'm not gonna go down and do detail on it, but this is the original auto storage. So it was either my second or third Minecraft redstone device, and it was useful. It is useful, but it's not fast enough, and it does screw up a lot. So this is just kind of where odds and ends. It's mostly not craftable stuff, except for redstone devices like observers, droppers, dispensers, um, rail. We've got that, pistons, comparators, repeaters, uh, and then I've got a couple other things in here. I've got name tags, Hearts of the Sea, TNT. I've never crafted TNT. This is just what I've found in like treasure chests. So there's 20 of them. I've never seen another one. I've picked them all up, never thrown one out. So yeah, so that's that. Let's see. I wonder what time it is. I betcha. Oh, well, yeah, it's still daytime. So, yeah. So that means I can show you the rest of this. So because it's daytime, we're just going to do a very quick run to, like, very quick. It's not even a run. Okay, there it is. It's my secret entrance until it's done, and then I'll run a line to it. So this is gonna be this is the big project. So it's a massive auto sorting system, and then I'm gonna have the wood kind of goes up and down the walls, trapdoors and stairs give it a little bit of depth. Until it's really lit up, it's not going to show off very well because it's a lot of spruce and dark oak and oak. So it just looks really dark right now until I get this all lit up. But it is quite the project, and it is taking a lot of resources. I just had to go on an iron hunt, uh, and I have to chop down so many trees. Like, I feel bad. I almost feel bad. I don't feel bad, but I should feel bad. Um, so yeah, so that's what that project's gonna be. Uh, and the worst part is, and like I said, like, I've lit that up. Like, there's zero reason for me to have spawns in there, and there's spawns in there, and it makes me sad. Um, so I've had one creeper, although I did take care of him before he did any damage, but jeez, I can't afford to have a creeper in there, so I almost don't want to start using it until 118 drops. Um, it's scary. I want that lighting effect. And some people are saying that's going to make it too easy. It's not going to make it too easy. It's going to make it more predictable. That's fine. I don't want to have a stupid torch or, uh, you know, uh, glowstone or anything. Every, 4 blocks, it's difficult to do, and it makes things look ugly. Um, okay, so anyway, that's the big project. So now we're just home stretch now. I'm just going to show you the upstairs. So upstairs, I know it doesn't look that great. I don't know what to do with this molten. So I've been thinking about it the whole time. So yeah, here's my hanging light, and got these big old pillars and this big old face, and this is a combination door. Um, I think that's pretty cool. I've always wanted a combination door. I think they're really cool. This is aged. I don't know if I like it aged or not. I do like the idea that I can change it though. That's cool. So we'll put in the code. So these are the water elevators up to, and I tell Mike it's the treasure room, but I don't know what you want to call it. So yeah, diamond blocks, gold blocks, copper blocks, emerald blocks, and totems of the undying. And then if you go all the way up, I haven't found a good way to do this yet, but yeah, my lighthouse actually is a lighthouse. It actually, all the lights spin around. So, so I've always thought that was kind of neato. I thought that would work when I was trying to figure out how I could do it, and it did, and I was pretty excited. You do have to reset it once in a while, so you need a lighthouse keeper, but yeah, it is like this'll run today, as in like an IRL day, and then tomorrow it'll probably fail again. I don't reset it all the time, but I reset it for this video because I think it's pretty cool. And this is the beacon. And then up top is where... Oh my god, please don't anything murder me. I'm probably going to get hit by a phantom or something. And then you can barely see it here, but that is my dragon egg. Oh yeah, that's where I put it. We can sleep under the stars. So yeah, so this is the base. I consider it medium-sized. I've seen large-sized bases, so this is not that big. It's not that grand. It's not that great looking, but it is incredibly functional. And there's more space, and there's more things, and it's It's great. So, uh, so yeah, hope you enjoyed, and you know, maybe someday there'll be another one of these. Uh, but hope you have a great day, and I don't know, you can do the things that people say to do. I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.